You do not have a purpose. You are not put here for a reason. There is no cosmic plan with your name on it, no destiny waiting to unfold, no calling you are supposed to answer. You are a biological accident on a random planet in an indifferent universe that does not know you exist and would not care if you disappeared tomorrow. And that story you have been telling yourself about finding your purpose, about discovering your true calling, about everything happening for a reason, that is a lie. A comforting delusion you constructed to avoid facing the terrifying reality that your life has no inherent meaning, that you are going to die, that nothing you do will matter in 100 years, that you are desperately trying to justify your existence because you cannot handle the truth that existence does not need justification. If this makes you angry, if you want to argue that you have found your purpose, that your life has meaning, that I am wrong, then comment below. Share this video. Force this conversation into spaces where people are still pretending that purpose is real. Because what I'm about to show you is not inspirational. It is not uplifting. It is the brutal, uncomfortable truth that the entire self-help industry, the entire spiritual movement, the entire culture of hustle and grind and find your why is built on a foundation of existential terror disguised as motivation. You do not need to find your purpose. You need to stop looking for it, because the search is the trap, and you have been caught in it your whole life. Here is what nobody wants to admit. The obsession with purpose is not about living a meaningful life. It's about avoiding death. You know you are going to die. You know everything you build will crumble. You know everyone you love will be gone. And that knowledge is unbearable. So you create purpose. You tell yourself that your life means something, that you are here for a reason, that your suffering has value, that your struggles are leading somewhere. Because if you admit that none of it means anything, that you are just killing time until you stop existing, you would have to face the void, and the void is terrifying. So instead, you chase purpose. You read books about finding your calling. You listen to podcasts about discovering your why. You scroll through Instagram looking at people who seem to have figured it out, who seem to be living their purpose. And you think, if I just work harder, if I just search longer, if I just believe more, I will find mine too. But you will not, because there is nothing to find. Purpose is not hidden. It is not waiting to be discovered. It is not out there somewhere if you just keep looking. It is a story you tell yourself to make the randomness bearable. And the more you chase it, the more miserable you become, because you're chasing something that doesn't exist. Let me tell you what actually happens when you convince yourself you have a purpose. You become a slave to it. Your entire identity gets wrapped up in this thing you think you are supposed to do. And suddenly, everything else in your life becomes secondary. Relationships, health, enjoyment, rest, all of it gets sacrificed on the altar of purpose. Because if you're not working toward your purpose, you're wasting time. If you're not grinding, you're failing. If you're not suffering for your calling, you're not serious. And you wear that suffering like a badge of honor. You romanticize your own misery. You tell yourself that the pain means something, that it's noble, that it's building character, that it's part of the journey. But it's not. It's just pain. And you're choosing it. You are choosing to suffer because you have tied your self-worth to an imaginary destiny. And the worst part? Even if you achieve what you think is your purpose, even if you get the career, the recognition, the success, it still won't be enough. Because purpose is not a destination. It's a moving target. You think, if I just get here, I will finally feel fulfilled. But you get there, and the feeling doesn't come. So you move the goalpost. You tell yourself the next level, the next achievement, that's when it will finally mean something. And you spend your entire life chasing a feeling that never arrives, because the feeling you are looking for doesn't come from achievement. It comes from accepting that there is nothing to achieve. Here's the mechanism. You are born, you are told you need to be something, do something, achieve something, make something of yourself. And you absorb that message without questioning it, because everyone around you is operating on the same assumption. Life has to mean something. You have to have a purpose, otherwise, what's the point? So you start looking. You try different things, different careers, different passions, different identities, and nothing feels right, nothing clicks, because you're looking for a feeling that confirms you have found it, a sense of certainty, of rightness, of this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But that feeling doesn't exist. Or when it does, it's temporary, a brief high that fades as soon as reality sets in. And reality always sets in, because no matter what you do, no matter how aligned you feel, life is still hard, still boring, still filled with mundane tasks and frustrations and disappointments. The only difference is now you have convinced yourself that the hard, boring, frustrating parts are meaningful because they are in service of your purpose. But they are not. They are just hard and boring and frustrating, and you are suffering through them because you have been sold a lie that suffering for a cause is noble, that struggle is necessary, that pain is part of the process. But what if it is not? What if the struggle is just struggle? What if the pain is just pain? What if you are making yourself miserable chasing something that does not exist while missing the only thing that actually matters, which is right now, this moment, the one you're in? The one you keep ignoring because you're too busy thinking about the future, about where you're supposed to be, about what you're supposed to be doing, about whether you're on the right path. And meanwhile, life is happening, and you are not in it. You are in your head, obsessing, planning, worrying, hoping. And you call that living with purpose. But it's not living, it's avoidance. Let me give you a real example. Someone spends their 20s convinced they are supposed to be a musician. That's their calling, their purpose, the thing that will save them from a boring, mediocre life. So they pour everything into it. Time, money, energy, relationships. They sacrifice stability for the dream. They work terrible jobs to fund their passion. They play shows for 3 drunk people at 1 a.m. They haul equipment up icy stairs, thinking this is what it takes, this is the price of purpose. And they convince themselves that the suffering is noble, that it means something, that one day it will all pay off. Someone will notice, someone will care, the universe will reward their dedication. But it does not. Years pass, nothing changes. They are still broke, still unknown, still struggling. And the voice in their head gets louder, the one that says, maybe this is not your purpose. Maybe you're wasting your life. Maybe you should have done something practical. But they can't admit that because their entire identity is built on being a musician, on having a purpose, on not being like everyone else who gave up on their dreams. So they keep going, keep suffering, keep hoping, until one day they crack. And they realize the thing they thought was saving them was actually killing them. The purpose they were so certain about was a trap they built for themselves, and they wasted years, maybe decades, chasing something that was never real. Now, I'm not saying don't do things you love. I'm saying don't tie your identity to them. Don't make them your purpose, because the moment you do, they stop being about enjoyment and start being about validation, about proving something, about justifying your existence. And that's when they become a prison. That's when the thing you loved becomes the thing you resent, because it's not giving you what you need. It's not making you feel fulfilled. It's not solving the existential problem you thought it would solve, which is that you are going to die and nothing you do will last. And here's the brutal truth nobody wants to hear. Most people who think they have found their purpose are just good at lying to themselves. They've convinced themselves that what they are doing matters, that it's special, that it's important. But it's not. It's just what they're doing. And in 100 years, no one will remember. No one will care. Their work will be forgotten. Their name will be meaningless. And the universe will continue exactly as it would have if they had never existed. That's not pessimism. That's reality. And the only reason it feels pessimistic is because you've been taught to believe that your life needs to matter, that you need to leave a legacy, that you need to make a difference. But you don't. You can just exist. You can just be here. And that can be enough. But we can't accept that because we're human. We're self-aware. We know we're going to die. And that knowledge is unbearable. So we create meaning. We invent purpose. We tell ourselves stories about why we're here and what we're supposed to do. And those stories give us comfort. They give us direction. They give us a reason to get out of bed. But they're still stories. They're still fiction. And the problem is not that we tell them. The problem is that we forget they're fiction. We start believing them. We start organizing our entire lives around them. We start sacrificing everything for them. And when they fall apart, when the purpose we were so certain about turns out to be empty, we don't question the concept of purpose itself. We just look for a new one, a better one, the real one this time. And the cycle continues. You chase, you suffer, you hope, you fail, you reframe, you chase again. And you never ask the question that would actually set you free. What if there is no purpose? What if I don't need one? What if I can just live without needing my life to mean something? What if being alive is enough? But that question is terrifying, because if you don't have a purpose, what are you? If your life doesn't mean anything, why are you here? If you're not working towards something, what's the point? And those questions feel unbearable, so you avoid them. You cling to purpose. You keep searching, keep grinding, keep telling yourself that meaning is just around the corner, that fulfillment is one more achievement away, that someday it will all make sense. But it won't, because there's nothing to make sense of. You were born by accident. You will live for a while. You will die, and that's it. No grand plan, no cosmic reason, just existence. And you can either spend your life running from that truth, or you can accept it and start actually living. Here's what happens when you let go of purpose. You stop living in the future. You stop treating every moment as a stepping stone to somewhere else. You stop measuring your worth by your achievements. You stop needing validation from the universe. And you start paying attention to what's actually here, right now. The taste of your coffee, the sound of rain, the conversation you're having, the breath you're taking. Not because those things are meaningful, but because they're real, they're happening, and you are here for them. This is not some enlightenment bullshit. This is not about becoming spiritually awakened or finding inner peace. This is about recognizing that the search for purpose is a distraction from living. That you have been so busy looking for meaning that you have missed the only thing that is actually real, which is now, this moment. And it does not need to mean anything to be enough. Most people cannot handle this. Most people need the story, need the purpose, need the belief that their life is leading somewhere. And that is fine. If the lie works for you, keep it. But if it does not, if you are exhausted from chasing something you never find, if you are tired of feeling like you are failing because you have not discovered your calling, if you are sick of living in the future instead of the present, then maybe it is time to admit the truth. You do not have a purpose. You never did. And that is not a tragedy. That is freedom. Because once you stop needing your life to mean something, you can actually start living it. You can stop performing, stop proving, stop justifying. You can just be. And being, without the weight of cosmic significance, is lighter than you think. You do not need to save the world. You do not need to leave a legacy. You do not need to be remembered. You can just exist. Drink your coffee, talk to your friend, sit in silence, and none of it has to mean anything. It can just be what it is, and that can be enough. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. If nothing matters, why do anything? If there is no purpose, why not just give up? And the answer is simple. Because you are here anyway. You are alive. You are going to keep waking up until you don't. And you can either spend that time miserable, chasing a meaning that doesn't exist, or you can spend it present, engaged, aware. Not because it matters, but because you are capable of it. Because you can experience things, feel things, notice things. And that capacity, that ability to be here and aware, that is not nothing. It is not purpose, but it is not nothing. Here's the shift. You do not need a reason to enjoy your coffee. You do not need a cosmic justification to laugh at a joke. You do not need a grand narrative to make a conversation with a friend valuable. Those things have value because you experience them, because they happen, and they do not need to be part of some bigger story to be worth experiencing. You've been taught to believe that life needs a plot, that it needs to build towards something, that it needs a climax and a resolution. But it doesn't. Life is not a story, it's just a series of moments, and you are in them, and they do not need to mean anything to be real. This is what nobody tells you. Presence is not a technique. It's not something you practice. It's what is left when you stop chasing, when you stop needing, when you stop hoping, when you stop believing that somewhere out there is the thing that will finally make you feel complete. Because you will never feel complete. That is not how it works. The human condition is incompleteness. We are always wanting, always striving, always hoping for more. And purpose is just another version of that. Another way to avoid the uncomfortable truth that you are never going to arrive. There is no destination. There is just here. And here keeps changing, and you keep changing, and none of it has to mean anything. So what do? You stop looking for purpose. You stop asking what your life is supposed to be about. You stop trying to figure out your calling, and you start paying attention to what's actually in front of you. Not because it's meaningful, but because it's here. And you are here, and that's all there is. You do not need a purpose to live well. You do not need a calling to be present. You do not need a cosmic reason to enjoy the things you enjoy. You just need to stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for certainty. Stop waiting for the universe to tell you that you're on the right path. Because there is no path. There is just walking. And you can walk wherever you want, and it doesn't have to lead anywhere. And that is fine. Most people will not accept this. Most people will keep chasing, keep searching, keep hoping that purpose is real and they just haven't found it yet. And they will spend their entire lives in that search, missing everything because they were too busy looking ahead to notice what was right in front of them. And that is their choice. But if you are tired of chasing, if you are exhausted from trying to make your life mean something, if you are ready to admit that maybe the whole thing is a lie, then stop. Just stop. Stop searching, stop striving, stop needing, and see what's left. You might be surprised. It might be enough. Your purpose is a lie, and the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can start actually living. Not for a reason, not for a goal, not for some imagined future where everything finally makes sense, but for now. Because now is all you have, and it doesn't need to mean anything to be worth being in. So stop looking for purpose and start noticing what's actually here. Because this is it. This is life. And it's not a story. It's just happening. And you are in it. And that is enough.